Hi everybody, how are you doing? As you can see, we bust out the mic. We are sitting down at the desk. You have the posters in the back, and this must mean one thing. We're going to be talking our shit today. So today I decided to continue my long delayed Glow Up Diaries. It's the Glow Up Diaries episode 3, where I just discuss everything that I feel like I need to say regarding glow up culture and the toxicity it has and the chokehold it has on young girls and just society as a whole, because I've been noticing as time has gone by and just like how I've been growing as an adult and growing into my adult and womanhood, how much of a grip that kind of glow up culture has on me and everybody, or just like a lot of people in society in general. As you can see, we have the mic out today and I'm actually using it, so this is gonna be really fun. It's giving the girls commentary, it's giving the girls, what is it giving? I don't know. So since we're going to be talking about something as heavy as glow up culture and things such as fatphobia and eating disorders may come up later in this conversation, I like to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, which is BetterHelp. You guys know that I have been working with BetterHelp for a while now. If you've ever felt like there's something kind of interfering or getting in the way of your true happiness, I definitely recommend using BetterHelp as a way to take that next step into your life and better mental health and overall happiness. BetterHelp is like a online therapy almost. BetterHelp assesses your needs based on a quiz, your age, beliefs, things you like, things you don't like, and they match you with a professional therapist all online so you can start talking to someone, kind of working through these struggles that you might have. And the great thing about BetterHelp is that they allow you to start communicating with a therapist within 48 hours, so it's a very quick time response, especially right now within COVID. It's very hard to get into physically seeing therapists still, even though things are kind of getting back to normal, because therapy is more of like a private practice and seen as a medical thing. It can be kind of hard to see somebody. You can start communicating with a therapist within 48 hours. I will say BetterHelp is not a crisis line, but it is just more of a online therapy, so you can talk about your problems, work through any issues that you have. Since this is such a broad network, it is literally offered worldwide, and there is a network of over 20,000 therapists. And with so many therapists, if you feel like you aren't really connecting with the one that you initially got, you can easily change it with no problem. You just have to say something and boom, you have a new therapist, and you keep hopping around as much as you want. And if you're like me, you don't really like confrontation and kind of speaking your feelings kind of freaks you out, you can log into the app and just start texting, or you can even call your therapist if you don't like face-to-face, just discussions, or you don't have time for it. They're always there at your leisure, and you can always get timely and thoughtful responses. And then this kind of gets rid of the uncomfortable anticipation for in a waiting room, or just kind of in a really cold, dark, really sad therapy office. BetterHelp is so committed to facilitating and creating safe spaces for those who want to discuss any issues that they have with their mental health, or just anything that they would like help with. And I feel like they're doing such a great job with this, with everything that they've done. I personally use BetterHelp for a while, and they definitely helped me out and helped me get back on track when it came to my personal mental health. I will say that BetterHelp is definitely cheaper than most traditional therapy. BetterHelp definitely is way below that price point, and that is because they want you to start getting the help that you need today. Make sure you visit betterhelp.com, which is better HELP, and join over the 1 million people bettering their mental health and themselves today. So a special offer for my personal viewers: if you're interested in trying BetterHelp, you can click the link down below and sign up and get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp. And come on now, discounted therapy, we love to see it. All that being said, thank you so much BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and let's go ahead and get into the Glow Up Diaries episode 3. You see me looking off to the side, it's simply because I'm looking at my iPad for this, and it's because I have several notes that I don't really want to miss. So if that is bothering you, I'm very sorry, but I have to say what I have to say. Get into anything, I want to really discuss like what is glow up culture, like what's a glow up. Like I feel like we all kind of know what it is, but like what really is it? Like, do we really understand what it is? Can we explain it? Can we put it in words? And I would just like to say, I googled it, and it turns out a glow up is really just a physical, emotional, or mental transformation to better oneself. And I feel like we see that everywhere. I feel like the most typical things and kind of transformations, glow up transformations that we see is typically on YouTube, and they're mainly physical changes. I kind of categorize the different type of glow ups in 3 categories: physical changes, emotional changes, and mental changes. And I definitely feel like we see the physical changes the most. Something in the physical changes category that you might see is a new hairstyle, manicures, pedicures, getting your eyebrows done, getting your lashes done, getting your makeup done, new outfit, new shoes. That's just some short-term ones if you want to discuss. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with any of this, because I support all of this 100%, whatever makes you happy. We're gonna kind of discuss like this type of stuff later and like what it does to like mental health and stuff. But yeah, that's just kind of like my personal physical changes that I personally have partaked in on my own channel, and stuff that I personally like to see as well, because like, yeah, I want to see how you got your hair done. Yeah, I want to see how you got your nails done. I want to see your acrylic toes. I want to see just everything, you know, just see how you kind of improved your physical appearance. You feel me? So like, I'm not saying I'm perfect and I've never partaked and like never been interested in this, because everybody loves a good 24-hour glow up challenge. These literally don't go anywhere. I partake in them myself on and off camera, so I'm not perfect. I do them too, and it's kind of like a guilty pleasure, you know. It's kind of satisfying to see somebody go from like a quote-unquote not so perfect version of themselves to a kind of more close to perfect version, because of all these physical alterations and changes that they make to themselves. You feel me? And some more of just like the emotional changes that I don't see as much on camera, but I see kind of a little bit. I feel like a lot of younger people are kind of getting better with the emotional and mental, you know, bettering of themselves, and kind of longer term things that I've noticed people doing, such as like my fam, Fernanda Ramirez, I think that's her last name. They definitely started kind of integrating this into their glow up challenges, and I really appreciate that, because you know, you never know who's gonna see your videos, and if a younger audience sees them, I really appreciate them kind of showing that there's more to glowing up than physical changes. And they'll do things such as self-care, they'll meditate, journal, they'll even take a nap sometimes, because I feel like sometimes we're cranky because we're tired. Like, that's okay. But I definitely see kind of more emotional caretaking and change happening over time. And then some kind of like longer term changes I feel like fall into the mental health category, because mental health isn't black or white, and it's always a journey. So something that I feel like when it comes to mental health changes includes therapy, lifestyle changes, and improved mood over time. If kind of going into the question, what do we see most and why? Once again, I feel like we see the physical changes mostly because they're, one, easily accessible. It's so easy to just make these appointments and go to them and say, oh, let me go from being ugly to not so ugly. You feel me? And I also feel like with these physical changes, there is a clear cut kind of across the board change that you can physically see. Like, you can't see somebody, like, you can't physically see somebody's emotional growth and mental growth. You probably have to hear them talk or see how they kind of take care of themselves and other people. And I feel like people get more satisfaction, including myself. Like, I'm not, once again, not saying I'm perfect. I just feel like people do these physical changes because you get more satisfaction kind of seeing like a before and after. We're humans, we like to see things improve, and with these appointments and all these glow ups, you know, you get to see these improvements, you know, in a 20-30 minute vlog where you go from busted to like, ooh, bad bitch. You feel me? And I feel like this kind of feeds into the instant result that we constantly look for. We kind of look for these instant results and just instant gratifications, and just change. Everything's at an instant. You want to change your Instagram feed, refresh it. You don't like what you see on TikTok, get rid of it. You want to see something more on Twitter, you favorite it, you know? So I just feel like it also has that kind of instant gratification that comes with being a human. And you know what? That's totally fine. It's nothing wrong with that. It's how we're made. And I also feel like it also plays into this kind of mini makeover trope, because we love to see people go from not feeling so good about themselves to feeling good about themselves. And since physical changes are obviously the fastest way to do this, because you basically go from, you know, kind of being average to a quote unquote baddie or just a better version of yourself. But my personal opinion is that when it comes to bettering yourself and becoming a better version of yourself, you have to look past the physical attributes, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. The next question I kind of wrote down was, what problems do glow up culture, you know, kind of start, and what kind of problems do they bring? And I feel like the two biggest things that come out of glow up culture is definitely deep insecurities and mental health problems. I'm going to talk about deep insecurities first, because me personally, I am personally affected by this. And I feel like it can go one of two ways. I feel like it can go into the physical realm, if that makes any sense. I'm going to read exactly what I wrote down. I put physical, you know, it further pushes the toxic beauty standards that we want to get rid of. So for example, if you see that somebody with, maybe, let me just do one in the natural hair community. If you see somebody with the same hair type as you kind of bashing your hair and saying, oh, I need to do something with this rat's nest, like this is so ugly, da da da, and this really might hurt somebody's feelings, because, you know, if somebody's so open with saying this about their hair type that you might also have, it could just be a little detrimental. You feel me? If you see somebody who's not fitting the skinny beauty standard, they might be a little chubby, and you're saying like, oh my god, like my body's so ugly, I need to change this, I need to lose weight. This could make somebody feel more insecure about their body because you're further feeding into the toxic kind of beauty standard, which is being skinny, even though being skinny does not equate to being healthy or pretty, which I'm gonna get into later in this video. But yeah, this leads to the question, like, does this mean I'm like not pretty? Like, does this mean like, since I can't get all this, does this mean I'm not pretty? Like, am I not doing enough? Am I not taking care of myself enough? And this is just some questions I thought of as a viewer, because me personally, I'm 19 years old. I'm still a child. I'm gonna be a child till I'm like 30, and even then I'm still not gonna have everything right, and I'm still gonna feel very immature. But just as somebody who's been doing social media for a long time, these are personal things that I felt like I have asked myself when I watch these glow up videos. Like, I remember when I was 15, 16 years old, I didn't have a car at the time because I didn't have my license, and I wasn't into nails and toes and getting my hair done as like I am now. And I'm just like, damn, like, am I not doing enough? Like, am I not, as a girl, like, do I need to be doing more? Like, do I need to have a higher upkeep? But like, I can't really do these things because my resources are limited. I don't have a car, I don't have much money, YouTube wasn't paying me a lot. And it's like, just like questions arise. And I would really like to clear up the fact that this is not to blame creators or vloggers. It's just something that I feel like, something that is brought up, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm just reading too into it, but once again, this is not blaming the creators or vloggers, because I love when people share their lives, but I just feel like sometimes we've had to take a deeper dive into kind of the effect that this has on people, if that makes any sense. And once again, I really want to emphasize the fact this is not blaming creators or vloggers, because they share their lives for a reason. People find it interesting, and 9 times out of 10, people might not feel like this. Like, sometimes people just want to see people get their nails done, and like, that's okay. But I'm really just thinking of the extremes and how, somebody who really just doesn't feel the best might look at this. And yeah, that's just kind of the deep insecurities part. Now, when it comes to the mental health problems, I just feel like this has more of a society-driven thing, and this kind of ties in with insecurities as well, because at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do to feel whole and make you feel good. But sometimes, if somebody, like I said, when I was 15 or 16, if I had seen something and I was like, damn, like, am I not putting enough effort? Like, what can I do to, like, make myself pop a little more, if that makes any sense? So I want to specifically take a deeper dive into how glow up culture exactly affects our mental health, because Lord, let me tell you, if you really sit here and think about it, I feel like a lot of these glow up videos, although they make people feel good, like, I know feeling like a bad bitch more than anybody makes me feel good. I love having my hair done, I love having my nails done, my raggedy ass nails. I don't have red nails. And you see how I just, kind of self-deprecating joke about my raggedy ass nails. If your nails look like this, don't feel bad. When it comes to glow ups, it's fun, it's fresh, you get to feel like a new person, and I feel like that's the fun part. But when we sit here and think about it, who taught us to do this? Who taught us that we are not fine the way we are? Who told us that we're not as pretty? Who told us that we're busted and crusted? And like, yeah, we might feel that way at first before I have all this stuff done, but who taught us that in the first place? It's just kind of like, where is this rooted? Who started this? And it's society. And with society's beauty standards, they constantly tell women specifically, you gotta have your nails done, hairs done, toes done. Oh my god, eyebrows threaded. Oh my god, lashes done, da, da, da. And like, yeah, you can enjoy all of that, but like, it seems like when we don't have these things done, we're getting shamed for it, and we're getting called busted, ugly. Like, we need to glow up and transform. And that's where this entire thing kind of flops for me, because like, I'm all for the fun part. Like, I love getting shit done, but when you start getting bashed for not having them done, that's where I'm kind of like, if that makes sense. Like, I love getting this stuff done. Y'all know I love me a good glow up transformation. I do transformations every few months just because, it's fun. Like, a before and after is fun. Gets a little, kind of hits the spot. It's really fun. My whole problem with glow up culture is that when these things aren't done, that's when the shit hits the fan. And then when these things aren't done, you're getting bashed for it. And that's when I kind of draw the line. And then another thing that I draw the line at is when touchy topics, when it comes to glowing up, specifically when it comes to weight loss and eating disorders, it could just be very touchy, which is why when I personally do mine, I kind of just stick to the generics. When it comes to deep insecurities, I kind of keep them off my channel in general, just because people wish bad juju on you, and I don't really want that. But it just comes to our mental health, and we're constantly shown like, oh, I need to be skinny, with like no kind of context behind it. Like, yeah, we know it's gonna make you feel good, but you know, it's just very touchy. I don't really know how to word it properly, but my next question when I was writing this out was, how do we view these things in our society, such as glow ups? And when it comes to glow ups, I definitely feel like it adds to the ugly duckling trope. If you've ever seen the Princess Diaries, perfect example. You start as not so fun, kind of quote unquote busted, as the girls would say, and then you get turned into a princess, and it's so fun. And like, once again, we love a good before and after, but why are y'all making the before feel like shit for not being the princess? Like, even though you might not have all this stuff done, you're still a regular person, and not everybody feels the need to go out of their way to do all this. You feel me? And I definitely feel like when it comes to these physical glow up transformations, it's definitely an easy fix, but it doesn't fix the kind of deeper rooted issues that some people may have regarding their mental health. And I feel like that's another problem that I have with this, because as coming from somebody who's been battling, tussling, rumbling with their mental health for years, I definitely just feel like instead of kind of focusing on the materialistic and physical things, you really should be looking at the kind of mental aspect, if your insecurities run that deep, of course. And I just feel like physical change and growing confidence is great, but if that empty void is still there, what's the point? Like, I feel like a prime example of this is kind of that girl trend. I love that trend. I feel like it's pushing people to be productive and being a better version of themselves, which of course is always super, super, super fun. But I feel like it can also be toxic. Just like a lot of things in this world. Glow up culture is fun, but it can also be toxic depending on where you draw the line and like what's being consumed and everything. But with that girl trend specifically, I feel like it's pushed people to be productive, but it also makes people feel bad because, you know, their life isn't aesthetic, you know, they don't fit the aesthetic of it. They feel like they're not doing enough in their life, and like I feel like that's when it becomes toxic. So kind of finding that balance between glow up culture as well is kind of off. I feel like we're so used to, you know, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just ranting. And I definitely just feel like this, and I quote, is a socially acceptable but overly romanticized montage of being pretty. And something that I personally think we need to discuss more, that I am becoming more and more educated on every day. So hopefully I can talk about this once again sometime in the future. My views are probably, you know, gonna change in the future. I'm an adult, I'm growing, I'm still a child, I'm growing. So some of my points in this video might change. I definitely feel like when it comes to glow ups, glow up diaries, you know, kind of journeys when it comes to glow ups, we really need to look at the contribution that this puts into fat phobia and eating disorders. And I feel like in all reality, this whole toxic glow up culture definitely just kind of stems from toxic, how can I say this, diet culture, because once again, kind of going into the beauty standard of, you know, being skinny. Like, everybody wants to be skinny because that is the kind of societal standard, and with this comes the fat phobia, because if everybody wants to be skinny, you can see how that kind of does its thing. And since being skinny is the beauty standard, people are going to be going out of their way if they really want to fit that standard, which is kind of where the EDs come in, which I feel like I can't speak on enough because I personally have never suffered with an ED. I've only ever known people and seen people on YouTube kind of discuss like their journey, so I feel like I can't really speak on it much, but kind of going back and backtracking on the connection between fat phobia and glow up culture. And I just feel like when it comes to long-term glow ups, it mainly involves weight loss and body image, and I am all for just kind of transforming yourself into your dream self. But I feel like a lot of it is look based, and being skinny, since it's the standard, people just kind of automatically think, oh, they're better looking, you know? And I feel like we have two prime examples of this, Adele and Lizzo. If you have followed Adele and known Adele for years, I've known of Adele since I was a child. Hello from the other side, ma. If you've known Adele for the years, you know that Adele was more like not as skinny as she is now, but as soon as she kind of lost some weight, went through a divorce, everybody was saying, oh, she's going. Adele has always been beautiful, but I noticed that when she got kind of on the thinner side, people started applauding her more because, oh, she lost that weight, she looks so much better now. She literally looks great either way. And that's where I feel like the fat phobia comes in, because people just automatically, once again, assume skinny, healthy, she looks better because she's skinny, even though that's not the fact at all. And I feel like another prime example of this, once again said, is Lizzo. I need my baby America, but after I get Chris Evans first, girl. I feel like Lizzo's another one. I feel like a lot of people just kind of fat shame her just because, you know, she's not on the skinny side, and then people think that like, oh, because since she's bigger, which is never a problem at all, we really need to get into the fact that people need to mind their damn business and stop discussing other people's bodies. I feel like that would fix every problem in the world. But since, you know, she's not on the kind of societal standard when it comes to body image, although she's still beautiful, people simply call her ugly and like she's unhealthy. But last time I checked, being skinny does not equate to health, because last time I checked, being a 00, size 2, a size 5, size 7, you can be any size in the gene. But if you're not healthy, what's the point? I definitely feel like when people kind of started associating being skinny with the standard and just being healthy, that's when shit really hit the fan. And I don't know, it's a very sticky thing. Once again, just because being skinny is a standard and being a 00 or a size 0 does not equate to you being healthy. I was watching this video last night by Iris. She was talking about, you know, just Olivia's glow up diaries. You've probably heard of them, and just how this kind of contributes to fat phobia and toxicity. And I'm definitely going to be linking it down below because it's a really good video, and big props to her for how she kind of did the whole thing. And I really love that video. Definitely think that you guys should watch it after this one. But yeah, moral of the story, skinny does not equate to being healthy. And I feel like we as a society just really need to change like our viewpoint on that, because who the fuck came up with that, ma? So I definitely didn't want to leave this video off on just like a negative, oh my god, all this stuff kind of discussion. I definitely want to talk about like what as a society and what I myself and what you can possibly do to make this better. And I definitely will say, as a creator, I've definitely kind of contributed to glow up culture and kind of, you know, just for fun, you know, but like I never really understood like the long-term effects that this could possibly have on somebody. And I will say glow up videos are not going to stop. They've been popular for a very long time because, like I said at the beginning of the video, you know, we love seeing that before and after. We love to see a good, you know, kind of aesthetic transformation, lifestyle change, and I love me a good glow up video, and I'm probably gonna do more glow up videos. But once again, I feel like the problem isn't the content, but how these glow-ups are expressed and shown and kind of skewed to is what's really the issue. So definitely something I feel like that myself as a creator, and something that us, just, you know, me and you who are watching this can just, you know, do to make ourselves, you know, kind of better at this, is no self-deprecating jokes about, you know, changing features. I feel like when you do self-deprecating jokes, somebody might hear it and be like, damn, is that something to like be insecure about? Like, you know, so maybe like lighten up on the self-deprecating jokes a little bit. You can definitely focus more on internal long-term glow-ups instead of just physical ones. And now I know you can't really document your 24-hour, oh my god, I changed my life around with these 3 simple steps on top of me. I know you can't document all that, but something I do wish is that people would actually start documenting the long-term changes and showing that on top of their physical changes, to show that it just runs deeper than getting your nails done. You feel me? Overall, we really need to look at society standards and how they are kind of spewed and yelled at in our faces, and really just start thinking like, damn, who hurt y'all? Like, that's not really something how we can fix, but like I just feel like we need to, you know, discuss like eventually sometime, maybe on Patreon, we have to see. If you're looking for like a person to look up to when it comes to glow up culture and just kind of improving their life, my favorite kind of health lifestyle YouTuber is Linda Sun. She actually inspired me to start my glow up diaries and have a better relationship with food in my body. Believe it or not, actually it's not hard to believe. She's an amazing creator, very talented, love her editing, love her messages, and she's just very pro you. Like, she's just very like go you, and she shows healthy relationship with herself, her body, her food. She understands that like I'm not gonna be on it 24/7. Like I so much love for her. She's just an amazing creator, and I love everything she puts out, and I feel like she definitely kind of does the glow up culture thing in a way that is effective and healthy, if that makes sense. For anybody you know that is suffering from any mental health disorders or eating disorders or just self-image issues, there's going to be resources. You can also use BetterHelp, which is the sponsor of this video, just so you start, you know, kind of feeling like yourself and kind of getting back on track to where you want to be in life and everything like that. And that's kind of it for my Glow Up Diaries episode 3. This was kind of like a long ramble. I feel like I definitely, you know, kind of feel weird about talking about stuff like this because I've contributed to it, but I feel like as a creator with a kind of platform, I definitely, you know, played my part. I probably still will do glow up videos, but I'll probably just be more cautious of how I actually get them done and like how this and think about, be more mindful of how they might make other people feel. And yeah, I definitely feel like it's just one of my responsibilities to discuss things like this, especially since I took part in it, and especially the negative parts in it. So with that being said, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much again for BetterHelp for sponsoring. Once again, if you want 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, which is BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. Oh, she can't spell. And you can use the link down below if you'd like to get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Make sure you guys follow my socials to keep up with me when I'm not on camera. You can subscribe to my Patreon if you want more bonus content. I'm posting several things on there a week. Yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you all the most, and y'all be easy.